Ken Adelman, originally Chicago, Illinois, and now Washington, D.C. and Aspen. Well, I was born in middle class or lower middle class on the south side of Chicago, and it was wonderful. We had a neighborhood school. We took our bikes to school, and it was very unpretentious and very good neighborhood. And people say, well, you didn't have much money. We didn't know we didn't have much money. There was no one there to tell us that we were relatively middle class or lower middle class. So we never thought about it. And everything we ever wanted to do, we could do. Later on, it was Ronald Reagan, but I was comfortable as a conservative before that. And I think part of it was that we went over to Africa. We lived in Africa from 1971 to 75. And the hypocrisy between, the kind of liberal approach of African, oh, we got to help them so much and we have to do this and that, and the leaders in Africa, I was there during Mobutu Sese Seko in Zaire, that were ripping off a lot. They were trading with the apartheid regime in South Africa and then voting at the UN that no one could trade with South Africa. We'd go, when we lived in Kinshasa, we'd go into the store in Kinshasa and half the goods were from South Africa, just at the time where the United States was trying to be holier than thou and cut off, have sanctions against South Africa. And the idea that all the socialistic attempts throughout history by Mao, with the Great Leap Forward, collectivization that probably killed 30 million people. The Stalin's collectivization that probably killed 7 million people. Even in Tanzania, under Julius Nyerere, who was a wonderful human being, but a miserable leader, and he had his Ujamaa villages. All these attempts at social engineering of human beings, of collectivization, of telling them how to lead their lives, I could see and feel that they all turned either ineffective or far worse to be totalitarian, harmful, and killing a lot of people. And so that reinforced me in my conservative ways early and very hard, very strong. So when Ronald Reagan came along and said that totalitarianism, dictatorship is going to end up in the ash heap of history, and communism is going to end up in the ash heap of history, intellectually, I very much disagreed with him. I thought it was impossible that communism, and I remember arguing with Reagan about this personally, but in terms of sentiment, I thought it was just beautiful. But the fact was, he was not only sentimentally right, but he was factually right. And none of us could ever tell that.